The fortitude to endure great hardships. The will to face extraordinary odds. The strength to act with courage in the face of danger. This is what people speak of when they talk about valor. Values are that which ought to be sought and retained. Value judgments are the means by which we evaluate our world. Virtues are character traits that exemplify values. In order to live well, one must be free. If man is to live upon this earth free, then he must be willing to fight against all odds to maintain this freedom. As such, if freedom is a value to be sought and obtained, then valor is a virtue by which one may obtain it. From this, we gain a greater understanding of valor. Valor is not merely courage. It is not merely bravery. Rather, valor is courage for the good, the willingness to risk suffering and death in a vigorous, animating contest of liberty, the willingness to wager one's own flesh and blood as a bet in the hopes of winning the dream of the life that could and should be lived, a life proper to man. After all, what is the point of living this life, if not to live it well? To live in such a fashion so that one may rightfully look back upon it with pride. To live, not to be remembered, but rather to be worthy of remembrance. I can think of no more abhorrent way to die than to die cowering in fear, pleading for life, for the mere continuation of existence from those who have no right to take life in the first place. Rather, if faced by my enemy, I choose to die in a worthy fashion, to die as a man ought, fighting, raging against evil. One should meet his end in the same fashion in which he ought to live. With a burning passion in his heart, and with eyes aflame with a fiery desire, a searing hot love for life. Not life as mere existence, but rather life as it should be. A life lived with pride, boldness, courage, independence, freedom. To live, not by anyone else's leave, but rather as an end in of oneself. To take such a path is to draw the ire of the coddled, the cowardly, the weak. They will fear you, driven on by either their devotion to their rulers or by their addiction to comfort, they will label you, calling you arrogant, selfish, antisocial, dangerous. The sight of a man who would live freely offends them precisely because it draws attention to their true natures: pathetic, craven, cockroaches who are content to live as serfs to the whims of others. And when they encounter difficulties and hardship, instead of rising to the challenge, they blame freedom for their problems, and they will beg for some authority to compel you, to enslave you, for their sake. To those people, I only have this to say: I will never acquiesce. I will never bow before your whims. You do not own me. Rather, I shall do whatever is in my power to continually frustrate your attempts to yoke, restrain, and disarm me, to render me helpless, harmless, and servile. Sometimes, it may seem as if it is hopeless. It may seem as if the flame of liberty is fated to flicker out and fade forever. Even if such is the case, I shall never give up. Valor is the courage to fight for the good, even without hope. Even if the fate of our species is to embrace eternal serfdom, as long as I draw breath, my defiance shall remain. As long as I have a mind, I shall resist those who would bind me to their arbitrary designs. I will never bow before any tyrant who sits upon any throne, whether that throne is in heaven or upon this earth. Live free or die. You owe it to yourself.